And welcome to another episode of the Learnado M-346, brought to you by India Foxtrot Echo. I did do a video last week, but my microphone unfortunately failed on me, and I was in that much of a hurry I uploaded the video with no microphone at all. This aircraft is available on Sim Market for about €30, which is 26 quid in the English old pounds there. And I'll be honest with you, I've had this a week now, and I've probably flown it maybe twice because I work away. So I'm just going to have a quick look. It's going to be a very brief, quick 10-12 minutes review. Looking at the external features of this aircraft, it's absolutely stunning. I can't say a bad thing about it, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's even modelled down to the actual instructional writing, and you can, it's all in English as well, which is pretty good. This is the International Flight School livery. Not many liveries brought out at the minute on flightsim.to, but I'm pretty sure there will be some more incoming on future updates. It's a twin-seater fighter jet aircraft. It's got the 2x Honeywell turbofan engines there. Handling wise, it does handle quite nice. It handles. It's quite smooth. I think it's a little bit sensitive at times on the old joystick, but isn't any aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator at the moment. This aircraft does feature, it's completely independent, so it can start on its own without a ground pack. It does have an APU built in for, immediate readiness starts, which is one of the plus sides with this aircraft. It's got all the modern fly-by-wire avionics systems built into it. It's got the training, the live nav trainings, train fighter pilots to kind of avoid ground-to-air missiles and stuff like that. And obviously it's dual seated. Pilot in command sits in the front, and usually navigator or trainer or instructor sits in the back. Or if you're a dual crew, you could have obviously two pilots sat back to back with each other. This aircraft is capable of carrying missiles and extra fuel pods, so it is actually an aircraft that can go to war if it needs to. I think the Polish Air Force use them, as well as the Italian Air Force, and the Israeli Air Force also use these aircraft. I don't think they've been taken up by the British Air Force. I don't think they will be. There was talk about the Irish Air Force, Air Corps, getting hold of these, but we'll see what their budget is like at some point this year, because it is fairly a new aircraft. It's not been around long, so it's this sort of variation of it is a fairly new sort of shape, new model. So let's crack on. Let's have a quick look around. That cockpit looks absolutely stunning when you see the heads-up display just by moving it in the light there. So we are today at Barrow-in-Furness, Walney Island. You can see there it's blowing an absolute gale at the minute. So what we're going to do in a little while, we're going to take off and go around up to the lakes, up to Carlisle. And what I'll probably do is cut the feed off when I get through Windermere, and then obviously I'll land it myself, just to keep the stream down a little bit. So let's go ahead, let's jump inside, let's get our cockpit open. You can see there you've got your stairs. I can also say I have flown this in VR today, and it is pretty cool in VR, although I am using an Oculus headset, which is not very good for Microsoft at the moment. It's a bit dull, if I'm being perfect honest. So let's jump in the cockpit where it's nice and quiet. As you can see here, we've got the all the digital displays. It's very modern aircraft, this aircraft, and it is modelled really well actually. For 26 quid, guys, I must say they've done an absolutely fantastic job. Like I said, there's not a bad thing I can say about this. I mean, more or less every single button does something, It's very rare that you get aircraft like this, and it just looks fantastic. I mean, little things like you've got to take the seat pins out for the ejector modules and put them in the safe position when you're flying, arm the seats. So what we'll go ahead and do, let's crack on, and we'll get ourselves set up for a flight. So when you turn the batteries on, okay, all these static elements will disappear. So if you turn the batteries on, and they are just linked at the minute, they're not individual batteries, which is a bit of a shame. And you can see there that the pilots appear, steps go away, and it's now ready for active startup and service. So what I'm going to do, guys, while that's actually booting up, I'm actually going to start the APU. So you want master start stop, APU's ready, set that to run, that will start the APU, and we're going to engage the fuel on both engines. APU should already be engaged. You can't actually disengage that, which is a bit unrealistic. You've got the pilot operated response system or recovery system, which is the big red button there. So if you end up in a stall spinning, you cannot get it out, which I will show you in this demonstration I will do a stall and uncontrollable descent, and you hit that and it's supposed to level your flight out basically, but we'll see how good that is in due course. Apart from that, everything else in the system, in the cockpit, everything works. You can turn the head-up display on. Obviously you get your navigation and GPS system, which will come alive in a little moment. So what we'll do here as well, guys, shall enable the seats. One thing you have to do here, the seat's currently in safe mode, so the ejector seat's actually an explosive device, so you have to engage these to make sure they are safe when the aircraft is statutory and when you've got maintenance crews jumping around and stuff. And you'll see at the bottom there, on the ejector handle on the lower side, you've got a pin, and that's to stop you catching it in the feet and obviously blowing the seat up. So what you have to do is you have to arm the seat, okay, pull the pin out, and that puts it into the seat firing safe position. So that seat is now armed, okay. And what you have to do, guys, as well, you do set up a rear view, and you also have to do the seat in the rear pilot as well, because it will give you a warning about the rear pilot's not being armed. So this is the rear seat, guys. You can see here it's exactly the same. The other thing you can't do on this is you can't operate the engine controls and turn them off from the rear of the plane, but you can operate a lot more things. You've still got the throttle sticks that don't move, unfortunately, and the landing gear knobs that obviously do go up and down. But yeah, it's a good view, especially in VR. If you're sat in the back in VR, it'd be great, and especially when eventually your controls will bring out so you can fly with your friend in a jet. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. So what we'll do is we'll go back into the front there, where we belong at the moment. And what we're going to do is going to reset the QNH. There we go. And okay, so one thing I have just noticed, and yeah, I have just noticed this as well, the APU's actually, the sound's gone off. So that's a little bit yeah, anyway, APU obviously is, the sounds are playing up, so as soon as they drop an update I'm sure that'll be fixed. So navigation light, beacon lights on, which are your strobes, I believe. Now I believe there is an update out, actually I haven't downloaded it yet. It hasn't come through on my my update system because I haven't connected to the internet for a little while. So I'll get that downloaded today on the install manager, get it pulled through. But apparently that's fixed quite a lot of the lighting issues. Alright, so you can see there, we'll put the taxi light on. And what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to crank the engines over, so turn them to idle start, fuels are on, systems are active, fire suppression's active, and we'll press start. I'm just going to start them both at the same time, just to speed things up a little bit. You would never do that in real life. You can see them just kind of spooling up there on the internal turbine. All LED lighting on this aircraft. Like I say, guys, that's where your strobe lights are there, and you can see on the back there they're not very good. All right, and the real aircraft, the kind of LED on off, not yeah. One thing that does let it down is the lighting system.
Left and right generator.
So the gen's on.
Right generator.
So at normal position, engine, we can turn the APU off now, we don't need that anymore, because we are up and running. And what we'll do, we'll just turn on the TXT systems on there as well. What you have to do for this one is go right the way across, and come back on yourself. And we want the second system navigate, so that's on. That's on. Console lights are all active. Oh, that's active. Oxygen is on standby. GPS systems are activated. Oh, and while we're moving, leaned on the handbrake. What I'll do is I'll turn the oxygen on. We don't need it, but it's yeah, she's on. And there we go, master caution, activate it off. And there you have it. So that is us ready for departure. Quick departure, guys, because I haven't got a lot of time. You can see the sounds are quite nice. I'm gonna drop a notch of flaps there. Give us a speed brake test, control check. Works quite well with rudders as well. And I must say the steering is pretty good. I'm using the Logitech pedals there, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Can we get out that way, do you think? We'll try. I don't think we can. I think that's oh yeah, we can. You've got all your ILS controls on, your navigate controls in front of you there. It's quite simple to use, really. It's there's nothing overly complicated with it. It's just like any other system, you know, that you've got in an aircraft. Different buttons do different things down here. I will say the takeoff performance isn't great in this aircraft. At the minute, I could do with a little bit more thrust for takeoff. That's one thing I have noticed, even with the flaps deployed. And we're going to go into wind. It is a little bit windy today, so I am expecting a bit of turbulence on the takeoff. Okay, runway is clear. And let's punch it, Chewie. Nice headwind there for takeoff. A little bit of right yaw. Rotate. Hey, there we go. Very windy. Gear up. Fast travel. Lever off, just pick the speed. Okay, and then we're going to turn a left turn. Given the power. Let's have a look at the water vapour. Very nice. Right, it does look pretty good, I'm not going to lie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the speed up now. I'm going to do something, we're going to reverse turn. Whee. Pull out, a little bit unsteady on the tail there. I'm going to do a low speed invert roll. Pull some G's.
Pull up. Pull up.
5.5 G's. And lead it out. So we're going to head towards Windermere in the Lake District, and we're going to drop down to about 500 tactical feet. Inverted, it handles quite well. Probably better than the Hawk inverted, actually. So we're going to reset the QNH. We're going to come down, or less about 90% throttle, 85% throttle. 500 feet. But we'll go down tactical, we'll go to about 300. There's Lake Windermere. Wave to all the people down there. Hello everybody. I'll ruin your morning. Nice 8 o'clock flyover. Wake everybody up. Going past Ferry Nab on the right hand side. Belly up, pull around, 2 Gs, straighten, back up to 900 feet, and then drop her down to about 500. We're going to head towards the tip of the fell here, and we're going to drop down onto Ullswater. What I do now, got the power, invert, way around we go, power back on, re-invert, pull around, pull some Gs. Going over Hard Knock Pass, bring us down onto Ullswater, past Glenriddin to our left. Give the hill walkers a little wave. There's Glenriddin down there. I'm literally following Ullswater Lake all the way around. Drop down, get some tactical level, big nice open lake.
Pull up. Pull up.
Past the midpoint of Ullswater, got a bit of a shower coming in actually. And coming to Parkwood Caravan site on our right hand side there. And then we're going to climb. Get some full throttle now. Climbing out, 35-degree angle. Don't lose too much speed. Give her a bit of a tail flick and just shake it all off. There we go, 6,000 feet. Now following the nav line, which will be taking us to the approach for Carlisle. Dropping the power, looking for the VRP point now. Got the M6 just underneath us to our right hand side. The Carlisle Airport should be on the nose about 1 o'clock. I'm going to say it's a little bit jittery on the joystick, this aircraft. Left and right is a little bit, you know, but apart from that it handles quite well. It does feel quite realistic. The countryside around here. I'll tell you what, let's go and have a look in the back seat. Let's see what George is up to in the back seat here. You can see there that the graphics are just the same. Handles well, really good frame rates in the back of this. Alright guys. And everything works as it should. You've got Carlisle Airport there to the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock on the nose. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a circuit, a visual circuit, see if it's on the wrong way. And then we're going to land into wind. And I'm going to drop the power off. Come on around to the front now. Reset that view. Okay. I'm going to put a bit of speed brake on now. Just to bring it down under 200 knots there. And get the flaps to travel. The runway is clear. Speed brake away. A little bit of power. Flaps down 1 notch. We're just going to go for a VRP tactical landing, Carlisle. Blip in the throttle there because we do have a bit of a crosswind coming in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow her down now, get her under that 200 knot marker, do a slight turn just to bleed some of that air off, drop the landing gear, flaps down for landing, flaps are travelling, flaps are green, bring back in that speed brake there. See, there's a bit of wind. We're doing 170 now into the wind. Landing lights are on. And reduce the power, drop her down.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
About 170 we're aiming for, guys. On the old touchdown there, pedals are active. A little bit fast there. Oh, there's a hell of a crosswind here. Brakes are on. Hold on. There we go. The brakes are, I must admit, not the best in this. Alright, that is my brakes on full. Full. So they need tweaking, I think. Brakes definitely need tweaking there, guys. They're not as powerful as they should be. And it doesn't do so well in that crosswind landing there. Not very stable. You can see when I touched down it did blow over onto the right hand side, which it shouldn't really do that. There we go, parking brake set. Put the flaps away. And then we can shut the engines down. Got the fuel. Shut the nav systems off. HUD disappear. GPS systems off. Lights and off. And cockpit open. And batteries powered down. Fuels are green. Everything's off. Gens are off. And there you go, guys. That's just a very quick review, a little circuit in this aircraft. Now, would I buy it? Would I recommend everybody else to buy it? Of course I would. It's a fantastic little aircraft and it looks really nice. It's a nice looking aircraft. One of my favourite jets so far, until the Harrier comes out. But yeah, it's a nice aircraft to fly. It's fun, it's quirky, handles really well. And you can go toe up once we get the yaw controls working with it. I am going to be in touch with yaw controls very shortly, and hopefully we can bring this aircraft in where you can fly with, you know, with one of your friends in there as well. Everything works. The ILS system has been tested. It does work. You landed it in fog. Like I say, the only thing it does do, it's a bit jitty when you're landing in wind. It's just the weather. It's just a little bit more. Like when I come in there, probably a little bit too fast, but it just jumped over to the right. The wing got underneath it. And we did a bit of a wing strike on the floor, so that would have cost thousands of pounds to repair. But yeah, I would go ahead and buy it, guys. I would recommend that you do. Great aircraft, graphic details are fantastic. fun to fly, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Speak soon, guys. Stay safe. Bye bye for now.